Evidently, there's been several strange break-ins across an area of New Hampshire recently. Cars and homes have been invaded, and many believe, including fish and game officials, the culprits are bears. Not everyone believes it has been bears, though. A local man named Caleb White recently wrote the editor of the Conway Daily Sun to voice his opinion. In his letter, Mr. White says this: "We all know about these bear break-ins across the northern part of the valley. Cars and houses getting broken into and stolen from by apparent bears. But after extensive research, I am confident that these break-ins are actually the presence of a Sasquatch being covered up by fish and game." But why do I think this? You see, when the bear first broke into Spruce Mountain, they set up traps to catch it, and caught it the next day. But soon after, another break-in was reported at Spruce. There is no way that two bears thought to do the exact same thing 2 different times in a row. The trap was just a decoy, so the public would not notice. Sasquatch are very smart creatures. They won't fall into traps. Although some may not realize, Sasquatch are native to this area, with forests similar to that of the Pacific Northwest. The Northeast creates excellent habitat for Bigfoot. After much human intervention, supplies are becoming scarce, and Bigfoot is resorting to invading homes and vehicles. I still cannot understand why people think bears could so easily open a car door. They don't have opposable thumbs. The Sasquatch, on the other hand, does, allowing him to open doors like humans. Bears have claws, which would scratch car paint easily, but these cars just have dirt on them. That is because Sasquatch are more precise than creatures such as bears. With all this evidence compiled, it is glaringly obvious that Bigfoot is the culprit of these attacks. Keep that in mind, and use caution while adventuring into the mountains. Always be ready to defend yourself and lock those car doors. Caleb White. Many people speculate that Mr. White might just be trolling his local paper. But would a Bigfoot breaking into a home or a car be that crazy? If they exist, that is. First off, let's look at a few videos and see how bears break into cars.
He's smelling food. He's hungry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He smells that food back there.
Time of year, the groggy bear's waking up from hibernation, and they are hungry. This Subaru with sweet snacks inside never stood a chance.
Outside, this Subaru looks pretty intact, but once you get inside, well, you can see just how much damage this bear did. Every door, every wire, almost every inch inside this Subaru Forester is destroyed.
He must have just gone in and gone up and around and sat in the back seat and left a little surprise in the back seat.
Oh, did
Yeah, bears aren't the most delicate thieves in the world. Caleb White isn't the first person to claim that a Sasquatch had been responsible for breaking into a home or a car. A man named Scott Mossback owned a cabin on Snowgrove Lake. In 2002, someone or something broke into his cabin. His story was covered by the History Channel show Monster Quest. The refrigerator inside the cabin was ripped from the wall and thrown to the ground. The stove in the kitchen was also flipped over. At first, when he looked at the bathroom, he thought it had been spared because the door was closed. But after opening the door, he found that the bathroom had also been ransacked, and the sink had been ripped from the wall. Scott Mossback didn't believe that people had messed with his cabin, as the closest town was 200 miles away, and the cabin could only be reached by plane. Okay, then it must have been bears, right? Dr. Lynn Rogers is a wildlife biologist that specialized in black bears. He saw the damage that had been done at Scott Mossback's cabin, and said that if it had been a bear that had damaged it, it would have been very strange. One reason is the cabin was ransacked in the middle of hibernation season for bears. He also pointed out that usually when bears go after refrigerators, they tear them apart. not necessarily for the food inside, but instead the insulation. The formaldehyde used in the insulation for freezers breaks down to formic acid, which smells like an ant colony to bears. That's why bears usually go for the insulation. But the refrigerator had no bite or claw marks on it. Not only that, but bite or claw marks weren't found anywhere in the cabin. So, could Bigfoot be breaking into these cars and homes in New Hampshire? I'll let you decide that for yourself. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's no reason to be normal, and you can be paranormal. Take care.